Well, one can only hope that that's our last snowstorm for the year. So we did get our baby chicks. So we got our 30 meat chicks, and then right now we have 16 laying hens. We are going to get a few more laying hens, but let's go in and check them out. Well, as you can see, we got quite the farm going on in here. So we'll start with these meat chicks. So these chicks here, these are our meat chickens. So these are Cornish cross. We're going to butcher these for meat. And these are basically bred to be meat birds. So they're ready to butcher at like 8 to 10 weeks. Right now I have these just in my sled, and they've probably doubled in size since we've had them. So it won't be long. I mean, a couple days or a day or two, and they're going to have to get into something bigger than this. But this is working fine for now. And I'm actually getting ready to swap out their bedding. You know, this is inside our cabin, so I try to keep really fresh bedding so it doesn't start stinking in here. So as you guys know, we just have solar power here. You know, we're off grid, so it's not very practical to use a heat lamp. We've never used one. You don't need them. They are very convenient though. You can just, turn on your heat lamp and then walk away and know that they're going to be kept warm. Since we don't use one, what we do is we just keep them right by the wood stove here and keep this wood stove running nice and warm and toasty while they're baby chicks. And around the wood stove, it does stay very warm, and we've never had any issues losing birds. So they stay plenty warm around the wood stove as long as we keep it going. So while they're still very fragile in the first week or two, I make sure the stove's going. I get up in the middle of the night every couple, 3 hours and check on them, make sure they're staying warm enough, and just keep feeding the stove. It's just what we have to do because we don't really have the power to be running a heat lamp 24/7, So that's pretty much it for these. Like I said, we have 30 of them. My dad's going to end up with 10. Which will leave Sierra and I with 20. We might sell a few. We'll see. But, we're trying to be as self-sufficient as possible. So that means, raising and growing our own food. And this is just one of those ways to become more self-sufficient. So that's the way it goes, right? When you buy meat in the store, somebody's raising them and butchering them. And Sierra and I just want to be connected to our food and know where it comes from. So we're just going to raise it and butcher it ourselves. So there's 15 or 16 of these, and there's 5 different breeds in here actually, and we're still going to get probably 8 more laying hens. So we'll end up with about 23, 24. Yeah, they're doing really good. They all appear healthy. Fun to watch. And these clear totes are kind of the way to go in my opinion. They've always worked well for us, and with them being clear, you can see through the walls, so you can always kind of see what they're doing. We'll keep these boxes shut while I go dump their bedding. That way we don't have any issues with the kitty getting in there and killing any. She's been really good with them so far though. Alright, so that old bedding I just dumped in our compost pile out there. We'll put that in next year's garden. So we'll spread it on our raised beds this fall. I was talking to the lady at the store, and she said that this year has been by far the craziest year as far as, how many people are getting baby chicks. Her and I were talking that, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised that it's not cheaper to, raise your laying hens for eggs as compared to buying them, even with today's prices. If you factor in the cost of the chicks, your waters, your feeders, the chicken feed, the bedding, you're going to have to build a coop. You're definitely not saving money. There's a pretty good startup cost with it. But that's why Sierra and I are doing 24 or so laying hens with the hopes that we can, we'll have eggs for our personal use and then be able to sell. But this year we're just going to keep it pretty small scale, sell some eggs to family, friends, and just to pay for feed and bedding. And if we can do that and break even to where it's not costing us anything to have the chickens, you know, just our time, then that would be awesome. Well, it's officially time to retire the tote freezer. We don't have too much stuff left in here. But this time of year, we try to plan it so that, you know, we have a freezer above our fridge. So that's pretty much empty right now. So now all this stuff can go into the freezer above the fridge. We don't run our chest freezer during the winter because we're not bringing in a whole lot of sun, you know, to charge the batteries. So we just put our food in a tote, as you guys know, outside. And that works fine during the winter months. Might as well take advantage of it. So all this stuff is going to go inside now, and then later on this summer, especially when we butcher our meat chickens, then we'll fire up our chest freezer. But by then, you know, the sun's high enough in the sky where we're bringing in pretty good solar power, so it's not an issue. We had kind of some bonus time with the tote freezer this year. You know, it's still basically winter here. But looking at this next week's forecast, we have upper 40s this weekend, 50s next week, and even 60s next week for a couple of days. So there's still a good 2-3 feet of snow in some spots, especially in the woods, but it's all going to go pretty quick here, I think, in the next few days. Oh yeah, we also did a little switcheroo with the fridge and stove, so we swapped those. We like it a lot better. And then above this stove, I'll add some shelving. The way it was before, you know, we had the stove right here. There was no way, like there was no food prep right next to you because the sink's right here, which isn't a big deal because you can just spin around here and the butcher block is all right there. But having it over here, you know, it just seems like you have a lot more places to set things while you're doing food prep. So we like it over there better. Well, it's the next morning. Let's go check these maple taps. I didn't check them yesterday at all, but yesterday was upper 30s and sunny. Today's supposed to get to 50 degrees today and sunny, so I gotta believe these will be flowing today if they didn't flow some yesterday. I'm gonna throw a tap on this tree too. When I go to town tomorrow, I'm gonna pick up some more because we have a lot more that we could tap, and as long as we're at it, we might as well go big or go home. Oh yeah, that one's flowing. Nice. There you can see the line there. Cool. None in that one. This one looks like it's running pretty good. I don't know if you can see that level or not. Getting some in there. So you can see there's kind of a bunch right in here that I have tapped. Some over here too. Now, out of all of these, only 2 are running right now. That one's not running either. Well, we got some running, so that's pretty exciting. When I run to town tomorrow, I'm gonna get at least 15 more taps, and then I'm gonna get some more 5-gallon food grade buckets so then I can transfer the sap into those and just keep filling these gallons up. So you can see we got this folding table set up here, and we have our seed trays. So we're gonna get these, at least some of our seeds started today. Right. We have like the entire homestead inside here.
Literally everything.
Don't even need a yard. Very nice. I would do like 2, huh?
Okay.
I'll do 1 in some, 2 in the others, huh? Like that. Okay, so these are Roma tomato seeds I just planted. I did 1 seed, just 1 seed in a lot of them, and then 2 in some. Did 3 in a couple, just to see. So we forgot popsicle sticks to label these, but Sierra's got a little system on her notebook right now, so we know what we're planting. And I have to go to town tomorrow anyway, so I'll pick some up then. Beefsteak tomatoes?
Mm-hmm.
So we started 4 total trays. This one we have our tomatoes, a couple different kinds, carrots, broccoli, some beans, cucumbers and squash. And then this last one is our lettuce. Well, it's finally starting to feel like spring around here. It's t-shirt weather today. But yeah, you know, you come out of winter and it's like you kind of feel like you can't do anything with all the snow, the cold temps. It's kind of your hibernation period. And then, you know, you get some warm days and spring is in full swing all of a sudden. You know, we got our baby chicks. We started our seeds. We're tapping maple trees. So it's nice to have things to do, you know, activities and staying busy. And then, you know, pretty soon here, we'll be starting on firewood and then we got some outbuildings to build. So things are really starting to pick up and I'm excited for it. We'll have to see how these seeds do. We normally don't have stellar luck with those. I think normally we start them a little bit too early. You know, we'll get like a little bit of a warm period in March and then we get spring fever and then we start them just earlier than we should up here. So this year we had a little more patience. So I'm hoping that's going to pay off. Well, all right, guys, it's nice to have things going on around here. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching and I'll see you on the next one.